There's a lot, I think, a particularly interesting free agency passage coming up, and a number of notable quarterbacks that are going to be on the market. Let's start with those, and Philip Rivers, and the story that we expected to play out as it has, leaving the Chargers. We've often talked about Eli Manning in the Hall of Fame because they're such close contemporaries. Where are you on Rivers in the Hall of Fame? So he's looking at the numbers, 60,000 yards, which puts him 6th all-time, ahead of Eli, who's 7th. 400 touchdowns. He's comfortably over 500 in his win percentage. Of course, Eli right on the button there. No rings. So if Rivers doesn't play anymore, is he a Hall of Fame quarterback?
He's borderline in my mind. I've done a couple of pieces on this with him and Ben Roethlisberger and Eli. And Ben and Rivers are significantly above Eli when you look at them statistically for the careers.
Yes.
Ben has 2 rings. Eli's got 2 rings. That's one big difference between them. Eli, strangely enough, is the only guy whose statistics get better in the postseason than the regular season.
This is my argument for him making the Hall of Fame.
But they're still not as good as Ben's or Rivers in the postseason.
Statistically, yeah, but then you got to cut through that. But we're not talking, talking Rivers.
But that's an interesting thing, and that's going to be Eli played in New York and he won 2 Super Bowls, and they were both big wins because they were over the Patriots, and one of them obviously was a huge win because it was over the undefeated Patriots.
And the part of the Super Bowls as well, right?
That's his Super Bowl case. That's his Hall of Fame case.
Yes.
Right there. If you look at his career, he was probably a slightly better than league average quarterback for most of his career. And it shows in the fact that he's never first team All-Pro. He's never the best quarterback in the league. He's never the second best quarterback in the league. And the question is how far down the line can you go with quarterbacks to put them in the Hall of Fame?
Right.
Jim Plunkett won 2 Super Bowls, very much like Eli. I think a career, very similar. He's not in the Hall of Fame. Philip Rivers' career to me is much more like Dan Fouts's. Although he's not considered the best passer in the league the way Fouts was at any point, basically at any point in his career. So that to me works against him as well, which is why I say borderline. If there was a Hall of the Very Good, then they'd be in there. It depends a lot on how you define fame as well. And to me, Ben Roethlisberger probably has the best case of the 3 because he's got the statistical package plus the 2 Super Bowl rings. But think about Ben's rings. The first ring he got, he was throwing the ball 19 times a game,
and he was in the Super Bowl.
He had a horrible Super Bowl,
despite him. Yeah. Well, this is the point about Eli, which when pre-Super Bowl, Brady and I were chatting about this. And I stated the case, so I'm not going to repeat myself on the pod. But
you were talking to Tom Brady?
Greg Brady. Well, we will talk Tom Brady in a minute. Actually, I talked to both of them, to be frank. Are they related? I don't know. Where's he going to land, Rivers? I mean, the Bucks have been touted as an option. The Panthers, who...
well, he's now living in a luxury trailer park in Jacksonville,
I don't
right?
think that's true, Mike. I imagine him in
He's a good old Southern boy. I've seen all kinds of conspiracy theories. You think I'm a conspiiracy theorist? You should read You should read some of the prestidigitation, the manipulation.
Now,
One of them had Rivers signing with Jacksonville and Jacksonville trading Nick Foles back to Philadelphia or trading Nick Foles to Indianapolis as a starter. I think Indianapolis would be a good fit for Rivers if they really do want to move on from Jacoby Brissett because they've got the receivers and the offensive line that could make him really effective there. A lot of people think he's lost the juice in his arm. I'm not 100% convinced that it's totally gone. But you have to be able to protect him. He's not a mobile quarterback at all, although he's
tough.
He is tough. He does stand in against the rush. But you want to be able to give him weapons. I mean, some people are talking about Tampa, assuming that they move on from Jameis Winston.
And now should they? I mean, should Tampa?
That's a tough one. That depends on how much you think Bruce Arians can mold the interceptions away from him. And how much Winston will want to stay. If he's a project, he shouldn't get the kind of money that he might expect to get as a 30 touchdown guy. You got to say, well, you're a 30 interception guy.
Sure.
And then the other question is, who else is going to want him? Because a lot of this speculation really is meaningless until we know who's going to stay with the teams.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content plus live streaming, make sure to subscribe to ESPN Player.